A gold set is not a random dump of prompts. It is a designed instrument that proves the system still meets enterprise requirements. This AiQualtest episode gives product, engineering, risk, and quality teams a practical, vendor-neutral playbook for gold sets for AI tests in 2026. Use a simple operating loop: cover, label, version, and reuse. That loop keeps conversations concrete when stakeholders disagree about quality or risk. Why this matters: weak gold sets create false confidence and missed edge cases. Strong gold sets encode risk scenarios, diversity, and acceptance criteria. Product, QA, and compliance can share one source of truth for release decisions. Enterprises shipping AI into banking, insurance, healthcare, and digital operations cannot rely on hallway demos. Buyers, auditors, and internal second-line risk partners ask for repeatable methods, version artifacts, and clear ownership. If you cannot explain how you tested and what evidence you keep, you do not have AI quality, you have optimism. Core concepts come next. Do not memorize jargon, operationalize each idea into cases, metrics, and gates. Concept 1: Risk-based coverage. Map cases to hazards and user journeys, not only happy paths. Prioritize regulated and high-impact intents. In practice, treat this as a measurable property: define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 2: Label contracts. Define what correct means: answer, citation, refusal, or schema. Ambiguous labels create noisy scores. In practice, treat this as a measurable property: define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 3: Stratification. Balance difficulty, language variety, and edge cases. Avoid overrepresenting easy chats. In practice, treat this as a measurable property: define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 4: Leakage control. Keep gold sets out of training and prompt tuning loops. Contamination ruins the signal. In practice, treat this as a measurable property: define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 5: Versioning. Stamp datasets with IDs, owners, and change notes. Auditors expect lineage. In practice, treat this as a measurable property: define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 6: Refresh cadence. Retire stale cases and add production-derived hard examples on a schedule. In practice, treat this as a measurable property: define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Here is a real-world pattern. Setting: health insurer building a benefits Q&A assistant for members and agents. The first gold set was mostly easy FAQ paraphrases and scored 95% even when plan year edge cases failed. QA redesigned slices for prior authorization, network status, and denial appeals with explicit expected citations. Scores dropped honestly, then rose after retrieval fixes. The model risk review accepted the redesigned set as the official acceptance pack. Notice the pattern: define scope, run controlled tests, capture evidence, decide with named owners, and feed failures back into the next cycle. That is how AI quality becomes a system property, not a slide. Common mistakes slow mature programs. Mistake 1: building gold sets only from marketing demos and happy paths. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 2: using unlabeled freetext vibes as ground truth. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 3: mixing train and eval examples without isolation. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 4: never retiring cases that no longer reflect production traffic. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. The antidote is discipline: small gold sets, explicit thresholds, change control, and monitoring that connects production incidents back to evaluation suites. Key takeaways for your team. Takeaway 1: design gold sets against risks and journeys, not convenience. Takeaway 2: write explicit label contracts before scoring. Takeaway 3, version and protect gold sets from contamination. Takeaway 4, refresh with production hard cases on a cadence. Write these into your team wiki and release checklist so they survive staffing changes. Your next steps this week: draft a coverage matrix of intense times risk severity for your top workflow. Then, publish a one-page label guide and assign an owner for gold set versioning. Keep the artifacts, prompts, datasets, scores, approvals so you can defend the decision later. Where this fits the AiQualtest method, learn the foundations with AiVELabs, practice with hands-on cases, and validate with governed evaluation evidence. Visit aiqualtest.com and learn.aiqualtest.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for weekly AI quality, evaluation, and governance episodes. Additional depth for practitioners: treat gold sets for AI tests as a controlled experiment. Version the inputs, freeze the environment where possible, record who approved exceptions, and rerun after every material change, model upgrade, prompt edit, retrieval index refresh, or tool permission change. Pair quality metrics with latency, cost, and safety signals so trade-offs are visible to product owners. When results regress, open an incident-style review even if the feature still looks fine in a demo. Governed teams prefer boring, evidence-backed releases over surprising wins that cannot be